Hey everybody, welcome to Cara's Cucina, YouTube's first and only Emmy-nominated cooking show. I'm Cara Di Falco. Today I'm going to be showing you a great vegetarian dish. We are making oil and herb braised ceci beans. This might be my new favorite quarantine activity, as I read books about food and then I recreate the food that I read about. So I actually got this from our friend Andrew Cotto in his book Cucina Tipica. If you haven't seen Andrew's episode where he shows us his grandmother's veal spiedini recipe, we'll get you that in the card above if you're watching on YouTube, or in the link in the description if you're following along on Facebook and Instagram. But again, great book, really enjoyed it and read this scene and knew I had to have it. Made it for dinner that night, just really based off of his description of it, and it's incredible, super delicious, and I really have come to love this dish. So it's 2 cans of ceci beans, or garbanzo beans, or chickpeas. They have a multitude of names. So these are rinsed and drained. If you're someone who finds that beans don't sit well with you, rinse them really well till the water stops bubbling. That's actually a chemical, and that's more often than not what causes gas in people when they eat beans. If you still have a problem with it, try buying dried beans and cooking them at home instead of the canned beans. But these are just 2 15-ounce cans of ceci beans that are rinsed real good and have drained. They're hanging out. And what we're gonna add to them is a half of a yellow onion and 2 cloves of garlic, just chopped up. This dish is so easy. It's really simple. It's really pretty. It has that whole kind of peasant food thing going on. So we just want to get our beans mixed with our onion and garlic. And then they're actually going to go right into our baking dish. So this is a 7 by 11, but you could also use an 8 by 8. And it really just depends. The more flat basically the beans are, the more they'll kind of get some like crunchy sticky bits on the bottom. If you don't want that, if you just want them to be nice and soft and chewy, pile them up a little higher. So maybe use a smaller dish, but we're going to get these in here. I meant to season these in the bowl, but we can do it in the dish too. It works all the same. Salt. You can be pretty generous with your salt, particularly with beans. And instead of black pepper, I'm going to use red pepper flakes. We're also going to add in about a teaspoon of drained capers. Kind of brightens everything up. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay, mix them again. Now for our herbs, you can really use whatever you have on hand in the house. So I have some fresh rosemary here, sage, and a little bit of thyme. And again, just to show the simplicity of the dish, I'm not even gonna bother to pull the leaves off of here. I'm really just gonna kind of lay this in the dish with the beans. We can kind of break up some of the larger pieces, but it's just an easier way to do it. It saves you a bit of time. And you can then, it's easy to pull the larger pieces out then once the dish is made and being served. So get that in there. Same thing with our rosemary. Let's kind of pull these pieces off. And fresh herbs, so good for a million body systems, but especially now, great for your immunity as well. So this is just one of those really healthy, hearty dishes that's awesome. So it's about 2 sprigs of each. And even if you don't have fresh herbs on hand, my mom actually did this with whatever dry herbs she had in the house, and she said it also came out absolutely delicious. So even if you don't have fresh herbs on hand, dry herbs will work well here. And again, it's whatever you like. If you don't like sage, or you prefer more rosemary, or you want to use oregano, or you want to throw some mint in there, it's entirely up to you. So please go ahead and use whatever combination you have on hand. I know some things are a little difficult to find these days, so. And if you're watching this in real time, as we're shooting this, we are all still under quarantine here in the US from coronavirus. So just trying to come up with some things that are simple, pantry staples, but still really comforting dishes and really delicious. So the final thing that we were gonna add to this, look, it's already so pretty with all those fresh herbs. I've got about 2/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. And again, this is gonna bring so much flavor to the dish. So if you can, you really do wanna try to find that good quality olive oil. So we're just gonna pour this over. And we want it to kind of fill the dish to some degree. So let me check the bottom. Yeah, as it kind of settles in. turn this way so hopefully you can see, but kind of have that little bit, it's visual on the bottom that it's filling up the pan and covering the beans to some degree. It won't fully go over them, but you definitely want visible olive oil in the bottom of the dish. We are gonna wrap this tight with foil, and it's gonna go in a 375-degree oven for 45 minutes. Hot out of the oven, serve your braised ceci beans with nice crusty bread, a big salad. You just have this wonderful rustic meal that is super delicious, really satisfying, full of good for you ingredients, and really just gonna kind of take the edge off of this whole quarantine cooking thing. That is it for this week in the Cucina. Guys, as always, the recipe is gonna be at caradifalco.com. You can follow me, Facebook and Instagram at Cara Di Falco. I will see you guys next time. Buon appetito.